on this week's episode, we are back and better than before because we're talking about cartoons again.
Join us on our third installment of Cartoon Talk.
With Case and Cass.
Stick around. Hello, and welcome to Rare with Flair,
the podcast where two cartoon-loving besties with the same rare disease are out here living their best lives. I am your host, Cassandra.
And I'm your host, Casey. Guys, this is going to be a cozy one. I want you to get in your comfy sweater. I want you to get a cup of something warm, tea, hot chocolate. Cass has been on a hot chocolate kick.
I really have.
I'm okay. I love that for you.
It's been lovely.
And I want you to grab that because we're going to be talking about one of our favorite things, cartoons.
We hope that your new year is off to a good start with your vision boards and whatnot.
Ooh.
I can say with some certainty that... it's so funny because in the last episode, literally the last episode, we were talking about waking up and going to bed at certain times, and Case was like, yeah, we have pretty flexible jobs. Not anymore, because I am now, it's back, guys. I'm back to the before times. I'm in the office from 9 to 5. Which means that my schedule is forced into what I wanted my vision board to be. And, you know, I like the accountability. I'm not that mad about it.
Yeah, well, when she told me this news, I was like, your vision board really said we are getting you out of bed in the morning. Like, you're a working lady, you're Dolly Parton, working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited about that. This is the proof that the vision board just starts happening sometimes out of our control.
Not waking up at 8, guys. I'm waking up at 7:15. So
yeah. Look,
we're making it happen.
Even more intense. Yeah, I feel like a lot of little things have already started happening like that relate to our boards. Like, things have been moving, life has been moving, and changing even since that vision board episode. So we hope same for you guys.
Any news that you're able to share?
Just, I'm like, move prepping for an eventual move this year. Not happening right now, but just trying to enjoy my last year in the condo and my last few months in the condo, rather, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's
you
months.
guys, I mean, you guys have followed. I've been in the condo the whole podcast. You've followed that journey. We've done a lot of episodes about our condos and our decor and like all of that, and so it's a journey, but like starting that and just everything. And then you announced this on our last episode, but that you are getting a roommate, like that happened. I know that happened after the vision board episode, that like all of these things are happening after
days after that. Yeah.
Days after. And you were like, I want to host more. And then that happened where it's like, you guys can host together, all the fun stuff.
It's
happening.
crazy.
Life is changing for both of us, but like, I think you and I are pretty good with change. I think some people really despise change. I think we kind of thrive on it. I get a little bored if things are not
too.
Changing a little bit. And that's why vision boards are fun, because you can always change your life. It doesn't have to be things happening to you. You can make the things happen, in a sense of like, you can go out and find a new hobby. You can go out and do a new thing. And that's the fun of life, right? So anyway.
We love it. I am, if you can't tell, I am recovering from a sinus thing. Fortunately, it was not flu or COVID, but now I still sound like a car backed over my voice. It didn't. I've had that happen. Just kidding. But like, oh, no. we are okay. So I sound a little congested, and that's why. But super excited. Because we're back to talking about cartoons. And we joke that there are like 3.5 people who care about this.
Yeah. Okay, we know
but
not many of you probably care. But I think it's more because we've gotten a decent amount of messages from you guys about the cartoon episodes. We've gotten recommendations from you guys, from multiple people. Not just like 1 or 2 people. Like at least 5.
Yeah.
We've heard from. And so some people are listening to this, Cass.
They've been waiting with bated breath for us to do another cartoon episode. And we were waiting until we got another 5 shows under our belt.
Yep. That's what I was just going to remind everyone of. This is our 3rd cartoon episode. In our first episode, we talked about, I believe, 5 cartoons. Our second one, we talked about 5 cartoons. And in this one, we're going to talk about the 5 cartoons. And then when we watch another 5, we'll be back for the 4th installment. It's just going to go like that, pretty much.
Let's see.
Okay, we've watched 14 cartoons, we think. We're scared we've left one out. But we think it's been 14 so far.
It's still a lot of shows. However, okay, yes. So we started with Steven Universe. Then we watched the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob, which were the ones that we grew up with. And then followed by Avatar: The Last Airbender, widely regarded as one of the best shows ever. Mm-hmm. Afterwards was The Owl House, which we had not seen. That was the first show we hadn't seen together. Then we watched it together.
Then we watched Bluey, which we also had not seen together. And it's still coming out with new episodes, so we've got to catch up.
We need to catch up.
Then we watched Hilda.
No.
Then we watched... I can never remember the order of that. Then we watched My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, which was fantastic.
I love. Afterward was Hilda, a show on Netflix that's cutesy and fantastical.
And then, after that...
it was our months long... It was over 6 months, right? That we were watching
at least
Adventure Time.
7, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And watching Adventure Time together marked, which is crazy to think that it's only been since then, we used to watch these shows together by sending each other voice notes about each show or each episode that we watched every day. And so we would listen to them and we would send another of our impressions of the episode. But when we watched Adventure Time, that was so hard to do. So then watching it together,
a confusing show.
That began our daily FaceTimes.
Yes, that began the share play of it all. Adventure Time was so long; it feels like its own lifetime. It was like a weird, really it just feels like this other time. So then we did Adventure Time. Then we did Jimmy Neutron.
Which didn't hold up, guys. We said it in our last one.
It did not. I'm so sad. Yeah, if you want to hear our thoughts about any of these, we do have 2 other cartoon episodes. We're just giving a brief recap of what we've watched. We are going to get into the 5 new ones we've watched, tell you a little synopsis, tell you our thoughts on them, our review. But also, we wanted to read through just an ongoing long list we have of shows that we want to maybe eventually tackle. And we want to do this mainly to get your input. Like, if you've seen any of these and you're like, yes, prioritize that, watch that. Or if we name all these shows and we didn't name one of your favorites and you're like, wait, you're not watching this? You've got to watch this. Please let us know. Like, if you are a cartoon person, or even if you're not, but you know of a good cartoon, let us know. So you want to just go back and forth down this list, Kat?
Let's do it.
Okay, first, Sailor Moon. We've been putting this off because it's quite long, but let us know maybe if there's like a certain amount of seasons that are good to watch of this show. We'd love to watch it.
Yes. The Dragon Prince, which we have seen separately, made by the same creators of Avatar. And it's very good, but we want to watch it together. Next is Hey Arnold, which is a show that I really loved growing up, and Cass hasn't seen it, so that'll definitely be something we do at some point, I'm sure. I'm skipping the next one because we will come back to it, but then afterward is The Wild Thornberrys, which I did not watch as a kid, but Case did, and I don't know anything about it. Up next is Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. I've talked about this show, and I've watched it and enjoyed it before, but I think that Case would enjoy it, and it's a French cartoon. It's actually, like, pretty good, but it starts out slow burn. The drama, it really intensifies.
I love that. Up next is OKKO, a Cartoon Network show created by Ian Jones-Quartey, who is the husband or partner, I'm not sure if they're married, but of Rebecca Sugar. I think they're married. Rebecca Sugar is the creator of Steven Universe, which also brings me, this is not on our list, but she is making a spin-off of Steven called Lars of the Stars that we will 100% be watching the moment it drops, okay? Don't even ask me about that. But yeah, so maybe OKKO at some point.
We're also thinking about watching Over the Garden Wall, which is shorter, and I don't know much about, but I've heard good things about it.
Yes, a lot of people. It has a very intense cult following. People love that show. It's very autumnal. Next is The Amazing World of Gumball, which I've heard a lot of good things about, but once again, don't know anything about it.
The Loud House, which we have heard surprisingly good things, even though we aren't sure how good it's gonna be because it's a newer Nickelodeon cartoon. However, we've heard good things.
It seems like a lighthearted comedy, which
sounds
sometimes
fun.
You're in the mood for. You know, sounds fun. After that, Fiona and Cake. This is a spin-off of Adventure Time. And they are characters in Adventure Time. And so that's exciting. I have heard good things about it. I would like to revisit that world at some point.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun. Plus, I really, I cannot express how, this is a sidebar, how, number one, how annoying we are to watch a cartoon with because we know a lot of voice actors. And we're constantly trying to guess which voice actor is speaking, especially if it's a random guest celebrity. And we'll get to this when we talk about some of the shows that we watched recently, but I miss Tom Kenny. I miss Tom Kenny so much. The voice of SpongeBob, very iconic voice actor. He was in a lot of stuff we watched toward the beginning, and then we haven't seen a show with Tom Kenny, and I want to watch Fiona and Cake for him.
I agree with you. I'm feeling the loss. Not loss. He's alive, but
he's alive. We just haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Next is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is an anime that I've watched on my own, and it's very, very highly regarded. I had very different opinions when I watched it myself, and I want to watch it again with Case because I need a third party involved.
Absolutely. The next one is We Bare Bears. Once again, kind of like Gumball. We've heard good things. I know nothing about it, but I've heard good things. I believe it's Cartoon Network.
I heard good things from a guy I was talking to on Hinge, actually. This is super random, but he recommended it, so here we go.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard about it for many years. People talk about it, but I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Next is, this would be a massive undertaking since the show is still ongoing and has literally 14, 15 seasons. But we wouldn't miss a single one of Bob's Burgers because we love Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, genuinely top 5 cartoons of all time, maybe top 5 shows of all time for me.
I adore Bob's Burgers.
It makes my heart sing. It is so comforting and hilarious and beautiful. But yeah, it would be such an undertaking to watch it together. It would take probably 2 years.
I know. If Adventure Time took as long as it did, Bob's Burgers would take an eternity.
We don't know. We just felt bad not putting it on this list because it is a cartoon we love. And we don't want to forget about it. And we've both seen it. So
we could break it into chunks.
We could do that.
We could break it into chunks. However, it would
up next
to be worth it.
Oh, yes. Up next, Scooby-Doo Mysteries Incorporated. This is a newer version of Scooby-Doo. I've seen the first season or 2. I liked it. I like Scooby-Doo in general, though. So I was telling Cass, even the original Scooby-Doo, there's been fun. 7 different iterations of Scooby-Doo. But even the original one would be so sweet and wholesome and fun, maybe to watch, especially in the fall time, spooky season. So that's on the list.
Next, Invader Zim, which, man, the amount of merch that came out of Hot Topic in the late 2000s, early 2010s was large. Very, very large. But I've never seen it, and I've heard very good things.
The Invader Zim kids were the Nightmare Before Christmas kids.
Yes, it had a very direct correlation.
Same people. So we might like that. I never watched it as a kid. Like, it was on when I was a kid, and it never intrigued me. But people love it, and I trust their opinions. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should give that another shot.
True.
Next up is Danny Phantom, made by Butch Hartman, who did Fairly Odd Parents, and it also had a cult following when we were growing up. I never really got into it, but not because I didn't like it. It was more just like I just didn't. But yeah, maybe.
I never watched it either, and so I'm actually curious to see it.
It's well regarded, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is called KIF. It was recommended to us actually by one of our friends, Jackie. She messaged the Rare with Flair account to tell us about this show, like, somewhat recently, so it's on the list.
Yeah. She said it has really good music, so I'm intrigued, because Cass and I love a show with
love
good
some
music.
good
and
music.
she said they rock out. I'm like, I like rock. I think that would be fun. Next up is DuckTales, and
oh my gosh, yes.
like specifically the remake. I'm sure the original is good too, but the remake I've heard fantastic things about. People like go crazy over that remake, so I'm like, maybe it's great.
Love the Ducks. I would love to see the Ducks.
I know there's too many good ones. It's hard to choose.
So many good ones. Next is Arthur, which I actually did rewatch recently. There are lots of seasons. But it's so good. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Next is Kim Possible. It's a show that I grew up watching. Cass recently watched it for the first time in her adulthood, not with me. So we could eventually watch it together. That might be fun.
We could. And then finally on our list, this is, I mean, again, we said it was long, but it's a Netflix cartoon called Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. I watched it like when I had the flu a couple years ago, so it was kind of a fever dream. I remember it being really creative and unique, but I wanted to watch it together to see if it was the way I remembered it in my fever dream.
Yeah. So that's our list right now. It's ongoing. Please, I am not kidding. Please send us a DM if you have any recs that we haven't mentioned that you think we should watch. Cartoons specifically, obviously. This is a cartoon thing. This is what we do. So I'm so excited to finally jump in to talk about the 5 cartoons that we have watched since our last episode. I'm so excited. So we talked about this a little bit at the end of our last cartoon episode because we were currently watching it. But the first cartoon we watched in this block of 5 was Fairly Odd Parents. We just watched seasons 1 through 3, though. It goes on for a while, and it gets kind of 1 through 5. So sorry. We watched, you're right. We watched seasons 1 through 5 because it does go on for a while, and it kind of gets weird, and we wanted to stop while it was still good. This show was an early 2000s Nickelodeon show, follows a little boy named Timmy. He has a bad life. His parents are kind of hard on him. He has a terrible babysitter. He has a terrible teacher at school. And he has these fairly odd parents, which are fairy godparents, who come and grant his every wish. But of course, chaos ensues because there's rules to these wishes and, you know, everything goes wrong at all times. Unlike Jimmy Neutron, in our opinion, it held up.
I actually think hilarious. It was better than I remembered.
Better. I agree. Yeah. Like, I want to let you talk about it too. I don't want to just take over.
No,
but like,
please.
It was so funny. The Crimson Chin episodes were, there were points where we were actually laughing out loud.
I was like crying laughing at points, and I didn't expect that.
Out loud. It's a really unique show. All the characters are really memorable. All the voice actors are so good. It's funny. It's
Tom Kenny. That was the last time we saw him.
Yes, Tom Kenny.
He plays this incredibly gay Cupid fairy, and it's so funny.
It's so great. It's so great. Something I love about this show, and I was telling Cass while we were watching it, as opposed to Jimmy Neutron. So Jimmy Neutron, he gets into a lot of bad situations. You know, he gets himself into a lot of silly situations.
He's a genius child, right? You know, that's the premise. He never learns
his lesson. No. He never learns his lesson. He's still kind of a butthole, for lack of a better term.
He's a narcissistic butthole.
Yeah. Jimmy, Timmy, their names are Timmy and Jimmy, and they actually have crossover episodes, but that's a whole other thing. But Timmy from the Fairly Odd Parents, he also is not like the most, he has flaws. He is a flawed character, but he learns. Like, there are morals and lessons in this show, and you do learn things. Whereas I feel like Jimmy Neutron just didn't have like morals or lessons the way that, and I feel like I sound like a prude of like, I need a moral and a lesson. But like, I do think that's important, especially in a cartoon. And I wasn't getting
especially
that.
like cartoons that were meant for children and that we watched as kids too. Like, it's, you know, these were shows that aired on cable television, so of course they were mostly meant to be played out of order, non-serially. So it's not like you're going to be able to see character growth necessarily throughout the entire show. However, I think what Case is saying is like, you really felt like there was a level of remorse in Timmy. Like, he, you know, chaos would ensue from something that he did that was kind of selfish, but then he would usually end up like apologizing and trying to be better at the end of the episode, which is like what you could hope for a kid's show. But honestly, there were some episodes toward the end of us watching Jimmy Neutron that he was just like, well, sucks for you, basically. And
it was just like,
it was uncomfortable. I don't know. Like,
and that made me sad because like, I really liked Jimmy as a kid, so it was sad that it didn't hold up. We gave a full review of Jimmy in our last episode. That was not part of this like 5 show block we did, but yeah,
we watched them back to back, so they feel like tied to us.
It's easy to compare the two. Yeah, exactly. It's easy to compare the two. They had multiple crossovers. They were on at the same time on the same channel. But I just think Fairly really holds up way better.
It really
does.
And
if anyone is wondering, I mean, we've gone over this before, but like Cass was saying, it's made for kids. If anyone is like, if it's made for kids, why are you watching it? I think good media, if it's made for kids, it should be able to be enjoyed by everyone if it's actually good. And Fairly Odd Parents, the humor is really actually very funny. It's very funny.
It's very quick humor. They've got a lot of really funny one-liners. They've got like a good amount of sarcasm for the adults, right? That, of course, now as adults we enjoyed. And like the guest stars that they had on there were also very entertaining. I love a good like cameo. And Casey mentioned the Crimson Chin. He's like a comic book hero that, you know, Timmy would read cartoons of the Crimson Chin. But like, guys, when I tell you that I cried laughing when I realized as an adult, knowing things now, that the Crimson Chin recurring guest character was played by Jay Leno, famous for having an enormous chin.
A big chin, which is so funny because we did not get that.
It was so, and like, he's actually a really good voice actor. He did a really fantastic job with those roles.
And of course, Tara Strong plays the lead character, Timmy, and does a fantastic job. Like, every actor in there is, like, bringing their best.
They're bringing their A game.
They're bringing
to
their
every
A-game.
episode. It's so...
Were there a few episodes that were kind of bad? Sure. But that's how it is.
Gray Delisle, another really famous cartoon voice actor. Like, she was Vicky, the evil babysitter, and she's iconic, too. So it's just... It's really ridiculous... and really sarcastic, but also that was a really enjoyable watch. I'm glad we watched that.
I like got excited every day to watch it and just like laugh, and it's really great.
It was awesome. Yeah. So the next show we watched after Fairly Odd was She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. This is a show that each of us have seen more than once, I think, separately.
Yeah. And
it's a Netflix / DreamWorks animated cartoon. It is really beautiful. And so it follows this girl, Adora, and she is basically born into this, they call it the Horde. So she's basically born and from unknown origins, raised to be like a soldier. But very quickly, early on in like the very first episode, she realizes maybe the home that I thought I knew wasn't right. And and maybe I'm a magical girl with magical powers. And
maybe I'm fighting for the wrong side. Even,
maybe I'm fighting for the wrong sides. So,
you know, like, maybe everything I've ever grown up knowing is wrong.
Oh, yeah. And, like, she questions her worldview. She meets some really good friends. And it's a really, really good show. It's got a ton of very well executed character development from pretty much every single character in the show undergoes 100%. Some level of growth. It's very creative. There's also a lot of really great voice actors in that show, but it's a very complete story with a lot of twists and turns, a lot of unlikely friends, some good disability representation, which we've talked about on other episodes. I think the plot twists, they keep coming, and they're good every time. And I think what makes this show really special is that almost every single character just has a very complete story and personality. There are very few one-dimensional characters in this show.
Completely agreed. Yeah, She-Ra is a character from the 80s, related to the He-Man comics, I believe. And so it was a show back in the 80s, and it's very goofy and like, I'm gonna save the world, you know, superhero shows from the 80s, and it didn't have much plot to it. But this is the newer version that came out fairly recently. And so it's I mean, everything you said, Cass, I agree. It's really good right out of the gate, but it gets even better, like, as it goes on, the later seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And what I like about it is it doesn't go on too long. They knew their beginning, middle, and end. They wrap it up in a pretty bow, like it's wrapped up at the end. There's one character that is, well, you know, without giving too much away, is kind of, you're like, is this character the villain, or can this character be redeemed? Which we love a good, like, good redemption arc, you know, love that. And it explores a lot about friendship. There's grief. There's a beautiful like representation of grief in it.
Found families.
Found family, adoption. Like, oh man, it's really well done. Really, really, really well done. Really well done. And all
if you like animation and good storytelling, there's also really good audio description for it, which is always a nice plug. So if you haven't seen it, I feel like if you're into cartoons at all, you might really enjoy.
Yeah, and even though it's not a quote-unquote adult cartoon, the characters are older. Like, I want to say they're, like, around 17 probably, Cass, right?
I think
like,
so.
The main characters.
That feels
And so
right.
it feels a little more of a mature show. It's not for little kids. Not that it's, like, inappropriate necessarily, but it's just, like, it goes older for me.
I think, it aims for an older, target demographic.
Yeah, right.
Not that it's, like, mature in its content.
Right. It's not. It's a family-friendly show, but it's, you know, yeah. All right. Our next show is a Disney Channel show called Gravity Falls. It is a really fun show. We watched it in the summer, and it's kind of summer going into fall, I believe. Is that right, Cass? You remember dates?
I think so, yeah. Like, the whole show takes place on, like, a summer vacation, basically. But it's in Oregon, so it feels fall.
So it feels fallish. So, like, it's perfect to watch in, like, August.
Summer, fall, like, which is exactly when we watched it.
When we watched it, right. So it follows these twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, girl-boy twins. And they go live with their great uncle for the summer in Gravity Falls, Oregon, and their uncle owns this mystery shack, and it's kind of like a scam shack. Like, it's like a, you know,
it's like a tourist trap.
Yeah,
like money grab.
Tourist trap. But when the twins get there, and they're like, what, 11, 12-ish
yeah, 11,
in age.
12.
When they get there, they realize that something about this town isn't quite right. There's some magic going on. There's, you know, it deals with gnomes and vampires and all your, like, tropes of magical unicorns, all your magical creatures, but there's also an overarching mystery. The main boy Dipper finds this book in the woods, and he doesn't know, you know, who the author of this book is and all this stuff. And I mean, at first it's kind of like episode of the week. We're like solving little mysteries here and there, but there is this big overarching plot.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And the overarching plot is so good. And I will say, like, the last, like, 3 episodes, like, the series finale is one of my favorite series finales of any cartoon I've seen. Like, it's just, it is wrapped up so well. Like, they knew from the very beginning how they were going to end this. And it's just, it goes from 0 to 100, man. Like, you're like, it just blew my mind when I first saw it. And it just gives me chills, like, at the end, the very end. And it's just, it's so good.
The major reveals and twists are very earned.
Yeah.
Like, you really, I didn't see them coming at all when I had watched it the first time, and then watching it again with Casey, like, knowing the end, still, it was, you could kind of see, like, the fabric unrolling as the yarn spun, but it was still really well done. And speaking of guest stars, this show had, like, a random amount of guest stars. Like, Jennifer Coolidge was in this show.
Yes.
John Oliver did a random appearance at one point, which was hilarious. You nailed one. Oh, Larry King. You were like, that's Larry King, and I'm like, no, it's not. It was.
Yes, it was Larry King. The Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson, that I can't remember his real name.
Nick Offerman. Nick
Offerman. Yep, and even one of the main characters, Wendy, is a pretty famous actress. Lacey Chabert, like, she's been in a lot of things. So, like, it is a great cast, and
really,
it was like
fantastic.
It was a really well regarded show. Like, people love this show.
People really love this show. It was awesome.
Even though it's a mystery and it has a lot of, like, intrigue, it is also just really funny. It is lighthearted and funny at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was really fun. And like, I think that they ended it just so well because, like you said, they didn't drag it on longer than it needed to be. And I appreciate that about a show.
Also, it's fun because the creator of the show is this guy named Alex Hirsch, and he not only created it and wrote it, but he plays, like, nearly every male character in the entire show.
Every time someone opened their mouth, we're like, oh, that's an Alex Hirsch.
It's Alex Hirsch. It's Alex Hirsch every time someone spoke.
Every time.
So, yeah. Hilarious. Also, Alex really Hirsch's partner created the Owl House, so.
That's so, yeah, right, connection. Man. Animation is, like, such a small world.
Small world.
Actors and creators and all that. It's really fun. After Gravity Falls, we did take a really quick pit stop, and we talked about this in our Guide Dog episode, where we did watch K-Pop Demon Hunters right as it was really exploding. And that was fantastic, and we really enjoyed it. But
I really
shortly after that, since it was a movie, we watched Star versus the Forces of Evil. And this is a show that Casey had told me about, and I watched it some years back. And, like, guys, this show is really underrated.
It's so underrated. Why don't more people talk about this show?
It's really underrated.
Because it's just as good as Gravity Falls, if not better. And more people talk about Gravity Falls. And it's the same channel and everything. So I'm like, why are we not talking about Star?
I know. So Star follows this magical girl from a magical planet called Muni, and she is a chaotic ADHD queen. Lots of fun, but just so herself, and so her parents basically send her to Earth so that she can, like, learn how to act right before she has to become queen of her home planet. And so she goes and lives with this family who have a son named Marco. And this show is not only a lot of fun, but what we had said throughout watching this show is that the I've never seen another show that writes such good chemistry for characters in every possible sense.
Yes.
Like, of course, the main couple have, like, really good chemistry, but not just romantic, but in friendship. And, like, the friend chemistry is like off the charts.
Off the charts, so believable, just makes your heart like soar when you see them together. But even during the show, they kind of date other people, Marco and Star, who are the main couple. And even when they date other people, we're like, wow, the chemistry writing is so good. We even like it when they're with other people.
Yeah.
Like, even though you're supposed to kind of ship them together, we're like, wow.
Of course. And even like other characters in the show, like they all really mesh well one with another. And it makes for a really enjoyable ensemble cast. And it's such a fun watch. There's constantly ping-ponging back and forth between like Earth and the magical world, and especially in the later seasons they spend more time in that magical world and explore a lot of really unique themes. And there's a really good payoff too, because of course it's very will they won't they for the main couple, but it's so fun. Like I love the layers uncovered in this show. There are some really great reveals.
Yeah, and it kind of is similar to Gravity Falls in the sense that it starts out more just like monster of the week, like Star is fighting these monsters and it's not a big deal and she's going to school, but then the stakes get just so high toward the end where the world is like ending, we got to save the world, that kind of thing. So it's really, really fun when the stakes get super high. It's like, but it's still like a fun, funny, lighthearted show because Star is so fun herself as a character. She's so fun.
Yeah, and Marco, who is sort of her foil, like, he's not, like, super boring, because usually when you have, like, a really fun character, their foil is, like, the most boring stick-in-the-mud person ever. Yeah. But he's not like that. He's really fun. He's just a little more neurotic and anxious about it, and we love that.
Right. And they're just like, but
they need each other
together. They're so great separately and together, and they're both such good characters to lead this show. And then even Star's mom is a great character, and like her whole story. There's like Star's whole family dynamic is great. It's just, and it's really fun because not only does Star go live with Marco, but then he comes to her planet, Muni, as well. And like, so you get to see him interact with the magic people and her interact with the earth people. And it's just so fun.
It's really fun. The magic is also really unique on that show as well. They kind of invented their own thing, and so it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool show.
It is. After that, we watched a series called Barbie Life in the Dream House. It's on Netflix.
Life in the Dream House.
It's on Netflix. I believe it started as a web series. So I watched this in college with my two roommates, kind of as a joke, just because it's like such a silly, funny show. But then I kind of forgot about it. And one of our listeners, I don't remember off the top of my head who you are because this was a few years back. But when we did one of our cartoon episodes, one of our listeners recommended Barbie Life in the Dream House. And I said, oh my gosh, Kaz, I've seen that before. So, I mean, everyone knows who Barbie is. So this follows Barbie. And if you've seen the Barbie movie, it has some similarities to it. It's like, follows Barbie and Ken and her sisters and her friends, like all the dolls that you know. And it's like, really, really based on the doll brand. So there's a lot of inside jokes about the different dolls. Like everything they do is like, you're always aware that they are a doll. Like, if it gets cold outside, their plastic is like hardening. They can't
freeze
up.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing. And she lives in her dream house, and it's like some of them are like more full length episodes, but a lot of them are little like 5-minute shorts. Yeah. 3 to 5 minute shorts, and so it'll be like one episode has like 6 different shorts in it. But it's really, really actually surprisingly funny. Like really funny.
Yeah. It knows what it is. It's not here to take itself seriously. There's a lot of like just very intentional jokes about being dolls and how old is Barbie? We don't know. She's had a lot of careers, and you have to be 35 to be the president, right? I don't know. And then they just leave it unanswered, and it's very silly, goofy. Ken honestly deserves more love than he gets. Honestly, justice for Ken.
Ken lives for Barbie and Barbie does not live for Ken, which is how it is in the movie too. Like that's just how it is like
Ken only has a good day when Barbie looks at him.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how it is. And like I don't know who the target audience this is for, because once again, like it's appropriate for children, but the humor is it's like more high comedy. Like it's funnier than just like a little kid show. It's funny.
It's surprisingly funny. And like they also this was from like what, like 2012, 2013, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they do some bits of it where it's like documentary style interviews on like this couch. There's some really funny running gags in it. So like that couch, if they're like camping, that couch is like in the woods all of a sudden, and you're like, wait, what?
It's really outlandish and funny.
It's very silly. It's not long at all. It's like 12 episodes, and most of them are compilations of like little little mini sods, like Casey was saying. But you know what? It was a fun watch. Her like arch nemesis, quote unquote, is Raquel, and Raquel is actually so funny. I was excited every time that Raquel was on screen. Like,
yes,
it was an enjoyable watch. Honestly, I'm really glad that you suggested it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't even me.
And I'm glad that our listeners suggested it.
Thank you. That's why we need more suggestions from you guys, because you know what you're talking about. But it was a super enjoyable watch. Cass,
now,
yeah. There you go.
We're not going to like talk about it in detail because we just started it, but we are watching The Legend of Korra, which, for those who don't know, it's like the successor series to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. We have both separately watched it like 5 years ago at least. And it's okay. Obviously, it's not as good as Avatar: The Last Airbender, but few things can be. So,
yeah.
It's good, and it's actually, we're still in the first season of it, and there are 4 seasons?
Yeah, 4. Mm-hmm.
So it's been a lot of fun already, just getting to go back into that world together since we watched Avatar together in 2022.
Yes.
Wow.
It absolutely has its flaws, and it's nowhere near as good as Avatar, like Cass was saying, but like it's still... The characters are still really good. There's still a lot of really good things about it, like it's worth watching. I like the storylines are good, and a lot of the characters are really likable, and I'm excited to watch it again, and I think there's a lot to love about it. So
it'll be fun, and I'm enjoying it more than I remembered. Actually,
I'm having so much
probably
fun.
Because I'm watching it with you.
I know. I feel that. I'm having so much fun, and just getting to like talk about it with someone is really fun. So, oh my goodness.
We hope
I feel like we
that you
about
enjoy.
So many cartoons.
I know, we talked about so many cartoons, many of which we haven't seen yet, but
yes.
Like Kay said, please give us your suggestions. You can DM us on social media. You can comment on any of our posts, or you can email us hello@rarewithflair.com. We would love to hear suggestions and add them to our growing list, or prioritize any that are on our list and watch them sooner rather than later.
Correct. Yes, we'd love to hear your opinions. We hope you enjoyed this, and we're excited to see you in 2 weeks.
Bye!